Hello, everybody. This is Sunny, and I'm coming to you with Experiment A Jeff the Killer X Listener by The Perfect Blur. Today we're going to be starting off with Chapter 7, and I'm excited to get into this, and just a little nervous too, because the whole voice thing. But that's okay. It'll be alright. Once my trousers were neatly folded to my satisfaction, I leave the closet and shut the door, only to jump at the sudden sound of a voice behind me. I spin on my heels, turning around to see a small girl in a pink dress, beautiful chocolate hair, and gorgeous green eyes. They were so captivating, I found it hard to look away. "Who are you?" she asks. I'm guessing that's what she said the first time and was repeating herself in a way. I felt kind of bad that I didn't hear what she said the first time, but in my defense, I didn't even know she was there, so I wasn't prepared for a voice. "I'm the new maid," I sigh, crouching down before kneeling so that I met her eye to eye with her. She was so pretty and adorable. How or why would she be living in a place like this? "Why do you wear a mask?" I was shocked that she asked that. I had already seen a few people here wearing masks, so you would thought that she wouldn't ask about it as she's used to seeing it every day. "I wear it to hide my face." "Why do you hide your face?" she asks again, tilting her head and raising her hands to try to take off my mask, but I quickly grab her wrist and holding her hands away. Don't do that, sweetheart. I want to keep it on." "But—" The girl was suddenly interrupted by another voice, one I didn't recognize. She looks over my shoulder before smiling widely, yanking her hands out of my grip and running past me, to which I stand on my feet and turn around. "Ben!" she squeals, wrapping her arms around the waist of the source of the voice. The one I now know as Ben wore all green, including a hat. He had straight blonde hair, and his ears were very different. They seemed like the ears you would expect to see on a pixie or maybe an elf. I had a feeling I was going to see a lot more weird and mysterious things here. "Come on, Sally, it's time to go out." He pats the girl on the head, who apparently was named Sally. Why hasn't anyone asked my name yet? Why would I even tell them my real name? Before Ben could walk away, I quickly call out to him, to which he stops and turns to look at me. What am I meant to, do?" He raises an eyebrow at me. I couldn't tell in which way it was, though, confused, mocking, sarcastic. "You're a maid, aren't you? What jobs do maids do?" "Well, they, clean?" "Then clean." He rolls his eyes before walking away. Sally holding his hand. I couldn't believe how much of an idiot I'm being. I knew maids clean, so I should have guessed that's what I would be doing. Why am I even doing this? I should just leave and manipulate these people so they can't stop me. Oh, I wouldn't be doing that now. A voice spoke behind me, once again causing me to jump and turn around. Wouldn't be such a good idea now, would it, lass? I was stunned at what I saw. I thought Ben's ears were weird enough, but this was a new level. He wore clothes ranging of different shades of purple and blue. Even his hair was blue, to which it was quite long, reaching down past his shoulders. Two big bells hung from his hair, one on either side, the left and the right. More bells hung from his outfit as he appeared to be dressed as some kind of jester. "How much of what I said did you just hear?" "All of it. Not wanting to be a maid, planning to leave, manipulating us. Now, that's not very fair, is it?" He frowns, tilting his head and leaning on one of his legs so the other bent at the knee. "Gosh, please don't tell him I said that, please." I beg, bringing my hands together as if to pray, taking a step forward. I watch as he looks me up and down before leaning back and laughing loudly. What was so funny? "Don't you worry, lass. I won't tell a soul." He smiles widely, squinting his eyes, but his grin suddenly drops and his expression turns completely serious. It actually gave me chills. "I won't tell, only if you can guess my name." He states rather bluntly. How on earth was I meant to guess his name? I started to sweat a little as I realized my life could be on the line if I didn't get this right, but I think he tried to give me subtle hints, holding up a candy lolly in one hand and a balloon in the other. I glance between the two, then suddenly the balloon pops, to which another one appears and pops again. Lollipop? He drops the balloon and lolly, to which they fall down his sleeves. His serious expression changing to that of a cheerful grin once again. Close enough. Candy Pop's the name. He gives me one more big smile before wandering off behind me in the other direction. So did that mean what I said was safe? I decided to do what Ben had suggested, clean. Even though I didn't want to, I didn't belong here, and they were basically holding me hostage. Although I hadn't tried to escape yet, and if I did, would they stop me? I shook my head, trying to stop thinking about it and get on with my work. I would be apparently punished for bad behavior, and I would rather not be after all that punishment happening in the hospital. The very thought gave me chills. Wandering around, I stop at the door and checking the handle. Locked. I sigh, moving on to the next door and once again trying the handle to see if it would open. Luckily, the door was unlocked, so I open the door with ease and step inside. Thankfully, no one was in there. I gave the room a quick look around. Inside was one single bed, a wardrobe, one window, and a bedside table with a single drawer in it. Not much, but homely, I guess you could say. Although as I looked around, I began to grow scared of who might be staying in this room. The wardrobe and table and even the bedpost had scratches and large holes. Even the walls had chips and slices within the paint. All seemed to be made by some sort of blade. Clean this room quickly and get it over with. Looking through the skirt's belt, I find a polished spray and a dry cloth, so I began wiping down the window sill. It was so dusty, it was actually gross. But as I continued to clean it, I suddenly hear a weird sound coming to the left of me. I couldn't really make out what it was, judging by the sound alone, so turning my head to the left, I suddenly jump at what I saw. A knife stuck out of the wardrobe door, its handle swaying back and forth due to the force at which it was thrown. I quickly looked towards the bedroom door to see Jeff standing there. He looked furious. That was a slow reaction, he states bluntly, storming, and he yanks out the knife and points it at my gut, to which I back away as much as possible he could, coming to a stop once I reached the window sill. What the hell are you doing here? He growls, lifting his knife and pointing it at my neck. Yes, I wouldn't feel a cut he made, but he could still kill me with ease. I thought I was a maid. I was just cleaning, I say in defense, raising my hands to which they still held the polish and cloth. His head tilts as he looks me up and down. His mouth was closed, but you could still see the teeth through his cheeks due to his sliced smile. What's your name? He grunts, grinding his teeth. I couldn't tell he didn't. I could tell he didn't like asking such personal questions, but if that was the case, why did he ask? But I had to think, do I tell him my real name, or do I hide my identity from these people for as long as I can? If they hear about me being missing from the hospital, they might return me back there. It's Sakura. I lied. Of course that wasn't my name, but I couldn't forget my friend that I left behind in that place. Even if it was just the spirit of a decaying corpse I was talking to. It's thanks to Sakura that I didn't lose my mind and go completely insane. I owe her this to let her name be heard again. Sakura? Sakura what? He scoffs as if to mock my name. His manner and expression would tell me that he didn't believe me yet, and he didn't say anything about it being a lie. Nothing else, just Sakura. He rolls his eyes, stashing his knife away in his pocket before looking back at me, mainly focusing on one thing. What's up with the mask? Why do you need that? What is with them having an issue with my mask? Is it because I'm not one of them, so they see it as weird? He reaches up to grab it with his right hand, but out of instinct I grab his wrist, holding it tight. Please, don't do that, I plead. Tightening my grip on his wrist, I would have gave him the puppy dog eyes, but he wouldn't have seen it anyway. His piercing eyes stare right at me before he yanks his hand out of my grasp, grabbing hold of my chain, dragging me out of his room. He took me all the way into the kitchen, grabbing a padlock from the kitchen drawer before taking me to a wooden support beam in the dining room that stretched from the roof to the floor. Shoving me to the ground, he wrapped the chain around the beam and padlocked it together, only giving me enough length to stand but not to walk around. He kneels down in front of me, grabbing my shirt and yanking me forward. Don't ever touch me again, he spat before pushing me back, standing up and walking out of the room, leaving me alone on the kitchen dining room floor. Chapter 9. All day, Jeff left me chained to the support beam all day. Still sitting here now, I watch the kitchen window as it begins to go dark outside. Many people had walked past me throughout the day, some laughing and mocking me. Some don't even give me a single glance, and I'm sure one of them growled at me just for lifting my head to look at him when he passed by. Although as it grew dark, the dining room and kitchen grew very, very busy, people gathering at the table, plates and cutlery in front of them, but I suddenly gasped once I felt fingers latch under my metal collar and yank me forward. Turning to face that direction, Jeff's anger-filled eyes glare at me closely. Why aren't you cooking? I was shocked. Did he seriously just ask that? He couldn't be serious, surely. That would be stupid. He knows I can't reach the kitchen to cook. I can't even take one step. You're joking, right? You've had me chained to this beam all... I'm interrupted by Jeff's hand clutching around my throat, pressing hard, causing me to wheeze and gasp for air as he begins to compress my windpipe. I suggest you do less talking and more cooking. Can you at least unchain me? It was so hard to talk due to his harsh grip taking a lot of my breath away, but after I ask, he loosens his grip and unlocks the padlock. I gasp for breath heavily, inhaling deeply, stumbling to my feet and almost tripping over as Jeff pushes me into the kitchen. The chain tangling between my legs. What was I even meant to cook these guys? Do they all eat the same? All different? No one has told me anything. I'm just meant to magically know, but I decided if no one's going to tell me, I would just cook pasta. It should be simple enough for a person who has never cooked it in their life, right? After a little while of cooking and cowering due to the rage that was happening behind me of many hungry people, the pasta was finally done. Heading to the table with the pot, I began to spoon out everyone's servings. Once everyone had a plateful, I realized I didn't make enough for myself, and there was no more pasta to make some more. Guess I'll go hungry today, I sigh, stuffing the pot into the sink and beginning to wash it up. As I'm washing, I suddenly jump and gasp at the sound of a smashing plate. Spinning on my heels, I see two people stood up, EJ and Jeff. EJ still had a full plate of food and slowly leaves the room without saying a word. Jeff, however, was surrounded by a broken plate matter and spilt pasta. What the fuck do you call this? He yells, gesturing to everyone else who had pasta on the plate. No one had touched their food at all, apart from Sally, who sat there smiling as she munched it down. I'm sorry, but you didn't say what you wanted for dinner. I cut myself off with my own scream, ducking down for cover as Jeff picks up a large broken piece of plate and throws it in my direction, hitting the wall and shattering. I know it wouldn't have hurt me, but just the sudden shock of having something thrown at me scared me, I won't lie. He storms over to me and stands directly in front of me, glaring down. Stand up, he snarls, to which I obey. Standing up and patting down the skirt, he continues to stare but doesn't say a word and without warning just leaves the room, not saying a thing. Taking a deep breath, I head over to the table and begin to clean up the broken plate. I was expecting to get some kind of sympathy from the others, but far from it. As soon as I knelt down, a foot forces against my back, kicking me down before they laughed hysterically. My hands collide with the sharp plate pieces, and one of them slices right across the palm of my hand. Damn it. I turned my head to face behind me as Sue had kicked me as some kind of joke. It was someone I hadn't been introduced to yet. He appeared to be dressed as some sort of clown, but very monochromatic. Infant, he had no color on him at all. Completely black and white with a bit of gray. He had long, sharp claw-like fingers, fang-like teeth, and a very pointy nose. Good one, LJ, the person sat next to him says as he nudged his shoulder. So the monochrome one was LJ, which is similar to EJ's name, so maybe this was the other Jack? It didn't take long for everyone to finish their plates and for me to finish cleaning up, although I wondered why EJ hadn't eaten any of his. Everyone else eventually gave up and ate some, but he didn't even touch it. So I ate it. I was so tired and hungry. I grab his plate and take it to the kitchen, slumping to the floor and sitting in the corner, hiding away as I ate the pasta, blood dripping from my palm where it had been cut. It was stupid. That is the end of those two chapters. That is definitely interesting. Everyone is so mean, which I guess is like, again, it's like realistically speaking, they're not gonna be nice. They're all murderers and monsters and killers. But I'm just like, damn. Let me know how you guys feel about that. I apologize for the stuttering. I know I feel like I stuttered pretty badly. But you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!